get started. Good morning. Great to see everybody. I'm Chris Stirrup. I'm a math teacher here at Creek. I'm also a person that works with the executive internships for the district. So we actually have students throughout the district, including here at Cherry Creek High School, who have done internships through medicine and engineering. That's my end that I set up. We have a student this summer who was at Skyridge Medical Center, and she was in the operating room almost every day, not because she had something wrong with her, but she was with doctors and nurses. And then we have 7 students this semester that are involved. So that's this presentation. I have a nice amount of paperwork for you. If you guys all chose to come when last week, I apologize, we didn't have class. But what we're going to do is we'll see if we can make this happen as good as possible. As far as handing these out. Yeah. Let's see, I'll grab more. Some of the doctors' names that you see up there are good friends of mine. They helped me with this class. They are my team of people that, if I have a scenario I need to take care of, I contact them. You'll hear from all of them throughout the semester. See, Dr. Hunt speaks twice. Dr. Parra speaks once. Dr. Brookins speaks once. Dr. Tagi speaks once. Dr. Fry twice. And Dr. Buckner speaks twice. Dr. Hunt is an ER doctor. Dr. Parra is an oncologist. That's cancer. Dr. Brookins is an anesthesiologist. Dr. Tagi is a plastic surgeon. Dr. Fry is an OBGYN. And Dr. Buckner is a cardiothoracic surgeon. Is there any extras over here? They kind of make it back. Oh, okay. Anybody still need one? Or is there extras? Extras here. Perfect. There you go. Extra. Extra. Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so this class, let's talk about it. I put my changer someplace. Here it is. How did it start? Well, this is front page of this page, kind of tells you, but the rest of it is this PowerPoint. So how did it start? 10 years ago, I was a teacher at Chaparral High School down in Parker. I was on a committee called School to Career. And what we did is we brought professionals in to talk to kids during our homerooms. And one day I was at my doctor appointment and asked my doctor, I said, would you like to come in and talk to some students, to my honors math students, about being a doctor? He goes, no. But my senior partner would. Well, a senior partner was named Pete Baker. He was a gastroenterologist who was retiring from his practice. And he said, hey, look, I've been involved with the class since 1975 at Arapahoe High School. A doctor named Sam Langstaff is running it out there. And I'd like to do the same thing with my retirement. So I went and I talked to my boss. His name was Ron Peterson. Ron Peterson actually became the director of schools for Cherry Creek Schools for the past 3 years, and now he is retired. So I poked my head into his office, principal's office at Chaparral High School. I said, Ron, I know you're really busy. I said, but I have a doctor who wants to start a medical class at 6 o'clock in the morning, bringing doctors to talk to kids. I said, I just put that on your plate, and when you get a chance, let's talk. He says, wait, get back here. So when can we meet this doc? So we set up a luncheon, met the doctor, went up to Arapahoe High School, found out how they did it, and we mimicked it. And then when he came up here, he gave me a call and said, hey, Chris, do you have any interest in coming up to Cherry Creek schools and be at Cherry Creek High School do this class? I said, sure. So 3 years ago I came. So this class started here in this district at Cherry Creek High School. Come on in, guys. My second year in the district, I went and I met with a Smoky Hill High School teacher named Annie Clough. One for you. And Smoky Hill High School now has this class. And then this year, starting right now, Overland High School also has it. So a program we had at one high school down in Douglas County is now at 3 high schools in this district and hope to fill out more and more and more. Okay? So that's kind of a cool thing. So that's just a little of the ins and outs of the class. Let me tell you about Pete Baker. Pete Baker is the older gentleman on with the red shirt in the top right. In the bottom, I'm the one in the yellow shirt. Brian Taylor, who's the guy in the middle, he's a Navy SEAL who come and talk to you all. He's also a nurse, so he talks to you about blowing stuff up and then putting people back together. And then Pete Baker. And then that's Ron Peterson right there, who is the principal of Chaparral High School. We had nominated Pete after the second year of doing the class as a 7 Everyday Hero, which you got. And me and Mitch Jelinek, I believe, is the person from the news. This thing got pulled onto my ear. This is our first year in the class. This is Dr. Tagi. She actually has kids that go here, and Dr. Baker. So she's our plastic surgeon who comes in and talks with you all. So Dr. Pete Baker passed away last summer. He was dealing, they found a nice melanoma tumor on his back, and it spread to the base of his brain. And his family invited me to come visit him at hospice care. And I have been around people a long time, but I have never been bedside of somebody who was going to expire, and he expired 2 days after I saw him. But his vision of this class is going to continue because of his knowledge of medicine and who he introduced me to this class. I got 20 years left, at least. So 20 years. So that means some of you will be doctors, nurses, physician assistants, other medical people. You got to come back here and talk. Cool? All right. So before we move on too much further, let's do a little survey. Raise your hand if you are from Grandview. 1, 2. Do we have 2? Do we have any Cherokee Trails? Do we have any, shouldn't have any Smoky Hills, but do we have Smoky Hills in here? Do they have it? Any Overlands? Do they have it too? Eagle Crest? Outside of the district, anybody? Raise your hand if you're from Cherry Creek High School. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. All right, let's talk about how this class is. And I have pictures and I have some videos, and we have some good stuff. So again, I'm Chris Stirrup. You can call me Stirrup. Mr. Stirrup's my dad. He lives down in Arizona. He's a little older than I am. So 6 a.m. class. Is it early? Absolutely. When that alarm went off this morning for all of you, I imagine it was like, oh my goodness, what am I getting into? So I figured the only way to present it is let's have a little bit of music on and then some cadaver pictures. Those of you who came in a little bit late, you missed some cadaver pictures, but don't worry, I have some still in here. We will go to Arapahoe Community College. We have a field trip out there to be engaged with their Cadaver Lab, which is awesome. You will hold hearts, lungs, intestines, brain, name it. If it's inside here or inside here, you're going to hold it. You're going to be able to say, oh my goodness, look at this. This is so fantastic. Okay? Our final exam starts today. Your final exam is 30 or 31 questions. I'm sorry, I can't remember. It's on Schoology. Work together. Work with whoever you want. It's due at the end of the semester. Okay? You all should be able to ace it. Wait till you see the questions. And then what I want you to know is, when you take the MCAT, you won't have Google or friends or family or other medical established people to help you along with it. It's a tough test. There are some questions that are like, why would I have this on a medical exam? And then there are some going, oh, I totally get why this is. So, pretty simple thing to do. So you think. Monday to Thursday, 6 a.m. So, part of this class, honesty is best. I'm going to send around each day a roster. Circle your name, initial next to your name. Give me some indication that you're here with your name. Put a little tiny dot next to your name might have you marked absent. Not because they hate you, because, well, these are now trifocals, and I haven't gotten used to them yet, so I can't see all the different levels. So getting older is wonderful, I'll tell you, I love it. So, but one thing I would ask is, make sure that if this comes to you, it passes all the way down to each of the rows. I know sometimes there are, like this group here might be easy just to pass it back rather than pass it down, because this is kind of like church. We don't want to sit next to each other, and we have a handful of guests that are sitting in the front row. If you don't know about that, well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you about church. So, here comes a roster. Again, make some sort of indication. If your name is not on that roster, on the very back page, print your name and your student ID number, and let me know from what school you are. And does anybody have the application to turn in to me today? If you have the application, bring it in. Come on up, bring me the application, please. Obviously, if you're bringing me the application, you don't find your name on the roster, just print your name on the roster and we'll get you on there. Does anybody need the application because you didn't get one or didn't show up? Thank you so much. Thank you. So the three of you, just print your name on the back and put your student ID number, please. And then if you don't find your name on the roster, then you might need to come take another one, because there's been some of you that it's gotten mixed in a transition, because I think too many people are in the chain of taking a look at if you're going to deal with this class. Okay. Another part of this class, we'll start this today as well, is I'd like you to ask questions. I'd like you to ask questions to the medical staff. Sometimes, and you guys know, you've been a part of education for a while now, sometimes it's like, oh sweet, we're going to get out of here early. No, we go up to like 6:55. Okay? So I'd like to start handing some of these out. And what you do with these is you start the question process that you might want to ask. Now, you don't have to ask me any questions, but what I'll do is I want to just mimic what will take place each day and just pass these all the way down. I'll collect them at the far side. If you have a question related to who's talking, feel free to ask it. The reason why it's easier to ask a question on here is once I collect any of the questions that come out, one, no one's going to know who that question came to, unless you tell your neighbor, oh, that's my question. But two, sometimes you can get an understanding of these questions, or ask a question that you really want to know, but you don't want to ask in front of everybody. I get it. Sometimes you're embarrassed. You guys know what when you have the question, I have a friend that, you know who the friend is? It's usually you. So I don't want to deter people from asking questions. Was there any extras as they come through? Oh my goodness. Someone could just pick up. Yeah. put my. All right, so that 3x5 card comes out to you. You can write down any question you like. Now, questions that I normally, so I'm going to screen the questions because sometimes a silly question comes up. Like, what kind of car do you drive? Really? You're asking a doctor that got here early for you what kind of car they drive. That's probably not a question I'm going to ask. A question that's sometimes a good question is, don't ask how much money do you personally make, but, and you probably learned during the session is if you had a medical doctor here, how much money does this field pay? So that you're not individualizing that doctor. Okay? Oh, yeah. Cadaver Lab. We can take 18 students at a time. We have plenty of sessions. I have booked 14 different sessions for Cherry Creek schools to use. I have chosen 5 of those sessions for us. I chose Fridays as our session time to go. I didn't choose Friday as our session time to go because I want to say, haha, Smoky Hill, you got to give up a Saturday, or haha, Oakland, you have to give up a Saturday. I coach my daughter's soccer team, and I have my games on Saturday. But if you're like, I can't leave school on a Friday, you let me know, and you can go and join with the Overland or the Smoky Hill groups that'll be on Saturdays as well. I will, starting tomorrow, have our very first packet for you to fill out. Once those 18 are handed out, I don't have room for you on that trip. The Cadaver Lab is relatively small. Okay, you're in a room that's probably 15 by 15 feet. There's 2 cadavers, the person who's running through it, and 18 students and me. And then we have to make room for those who fall asleep during the presentation, which is pass out. How do you pass out during the Cadaver Lab? Your last meal was last night, which was Rockstar energy drink, and you ate 4 Twinkies with it. So you carb loaded, now you crash as you get there. So, pretty simple, and I'll have the paperwork for this tomorrow. If you feel you want to be one of the first 18 to go, get to class early, because I know that some of you are like, I'm excited, I'm scared, this is intense, I don't know how I'm going to react. I know. I've become the desensitized one because I've been around it a lot. Okay? So our dates for us, and this is on your thing, we have these dates that I will be at the lab. So August 26th, which is not Friday this week, but Friday next week, right? So that means your paperwork needs to get in pretty quickly so I can get you excused to go. And then I will later, not tomorrow, as we get closer to September 16th, I'll get the paperwork for September 16th. Then I will once that's done, I will get the October 14th, and then so on and so forth. But August 26th paperwork is coming out tomorrow. Double check your schedule. Take a look at your schedule. Does that work for you to go? The labs go from 1:30 to 4. You're expected to be there by 1. Okay? Arapahoe Community College is easy enough to find as long as you don't say, take me to Arapahoe Community College, because your directions will take you to Arapahoe Community College for some odd reason next to Chaparral High School down in Parker where I used to be. So this is the one that's out on Santa Fe in Littleton. So I will have a map of directions. Please get a basis and a guide for where it's at, because you might wind up at the wrong location and then you miss part of the lab. We'll let you in if you come late, but you miss part of the lab. Okay? If you're like, Saturday only works for me, let me know. Okay? Don't grandstand it in front of everybody. Let me know. Come to me and say, hey, I would like to go on a Saturday with Overland or Smoky Hill. That way, then I will contact those schools and say, hey, we have this. The student needs to do this. And they're like, okay, we got room. So I've asked them on their Saturday labs to hold back. And they don't have quite as many people as we do here. Let's see. Any questions about the Cadaver Labs? lab work of 3 schools, blah, blah, blah. 18 can attend. Andy is a Smoky Hill teacher. His name's Andy Colella. Sarah Schreiber is the Overland High School, and then myself, Chris Stirrup or Mr. Stirrup or Stirrup. Of the forms, 6 forms. I don't know what the 6 forms are. There's probably a whole stack of forms to fill out. We have the district forms. We have the Arapahoe Community College forms to fill out, things like that. You have to figure out your own way. We're not taking a bus out there. We're not renting a car. No, I won't drive you. I'm sorry. You don't want to drive with me. So if you carpool with each other, there is a form that is in the packet that you can use to figure that out. Questions so far from me? Shout outs. Talk to me.
So I know there are other labs that are available that we have to sign up and pay separately for. Will it be kind of the same process?
Yep. I'll actually get to that. So the question was, there's other things that are available for us. We have the opportunity to go to the Cape, which is an interactive operating room. I can only take 15 students per school. I don't have enough room. It does cost an extra $50. If the other schools don't fill their allotted 15, then I'll open it up to anyone else here that wants to go to it. And I'll show you a video about what the Cape is here in a second. Any other questions so far? You all right? Yeah? They are humans, yes. Yeah, they are people who've donated their body to science. They have died because people who are alive don't like to get cut into too much. So how it basically works is, you have all kinds of choices for life. I personally am an organ donor, so my body can't go to a cadaver lab because when I expire, they're going to go through and take anything they can harvest to help somebody else out in life. But the State Anatomical Board also will say, I would like to gift my body to science. And so how that works is, once you expire, they take you to the State Anatomical Board, which is up at the Anschutz campus. They go through your femoral artery, which is in your leg, and they basically pump you with radiator fluid, because it's a preservative, and they flush out the majority of any blood. Now, some of the clots that might have developed through life will stay there, and they will then drill a hole in your skull and fill your skull full of formaldehyde. Your brain breaks down very quickly. And then this is going to change your whole outlook on how you look at food, but they call it pickling a person. And I love pickles, and it bothers me that they call it pickling, because when I'm eating a pickle, it's a cucumber that has been in vinegar and salt and other seasonings. But what they do is then they put you on these racks in a cooler that's about 40 degrees for about a year, and they allow you to pickle. And then after that, there's medical schools throughout the United States that can purchase cadavers, and cadavers cost $2,500 per cadaver, and that does not include the transport to and from your medical school. So those are just some things of how the Cadaver Lab works. When you go into the Cadaver Lab, Arapahoe Community College, they do cover the hands, the feet, and the face, because it's more of an identifying feature. If you got in here early, you saw the hand of cadavers. I used to go to another Cadaver Lab down at Rocky Vista University, which they did not cover the hands and feet. It just depends upon which school you use, which medical establishment that you use. And you should be nervous about it. You're not going to a funeral. It's very obvious when you come in, you're looking at somebody. It smells like your biology lab when you dissected cats or frogs or pigs by about 10. Okay? You will leave the cadaver lab thinking, oh, I don't smell. And everyone you come in contact with that wasn't there will say, oh my goodness, you stink. many years ago, we had our Cadaver Lab during our homecoming, and I had one of my students who decided, I'm going to go get all made up, my hair done, all the makeup, nails done, shows up to the lab, and she looks like she's going out clubbing. I said, what are you doing? She goes, well, I had to have my hair and makeup done for the dance tonight. Hey, no one's going to dance with you. So she's like, oh, I didn't think I'd smell that bad. You will. And so what I strongly urge you to do, once you go to the Cadaver Lab, once you come home, your outer layer of clothing, leave in the garage to air out, or out on the back patio to air out, and then go get right to the shower. Don't say, oh, these jeans, no, they're fine. Because you're going to find out how good your friends are later. Your friends are like, dude, I got to pick up, get in the back. You can't ride up front with us because you stink. Okay? So, Cadaver Lab, this was what you will look like at the Cadaver Lab. They do have garments that you'll wear. This is called a humidor. And take a look. Got a human brain right here. This is Morgan. She will actually come and talk to you guys later in the semester. She's now a nursing student. So this was our Cadaver Lab. This was a huge Cadaver Lab that we had been a part of at Rocky Vista. And we went to a brain extraction lab and we were able to cut the brain out of the cadavers, which was fantastic. This is from the first class. Let's see. That's Kelsey. Kelsey is now a nurse. She will come and talk to you guys. Everybody else there. Pollock right here. She is a chemist for a drug company back in Philadelphia now. Let's see. Courtney here just did some stuff with nursing overseas. And let's see. John Pacelli. I don't even know what that kid's doing now. All I know is he thought it would be fun. He goes, can I take the skull that looks like a bowl and use it as his Cheerios bowl? And I said, no, but I like your sense of humor. And then that's me. I had a little bit more hair 10 years ago. Okay, this is going through. Kevin Keyser is the photographer. We had permission from State Anatomical Board to join us in the Cadaver Lab. And so he came and took photographs. Uh-oh, what happened here? So this is going into the spine, the cadaver's face down. I don't know if you can see this. See this right here? That yellow? Any ideas what it is? Yeah, it is the butt. What do you think it is? It is the fat, yeah. And it's real greasy. So you will have gloves on. Don't worry if you have an allergy to latex. We don't use latex. Everything's nylon. Until someone gets an allergy to nylon, then we have to change it to something. But that's basically, so you'll be engaged in this kind of thing. Oh, look at this. We have taken the brain out. Okay, what is that right there where it's pointing? What do you got? Brainstem, yeah. Top of your spinal cord. Anyone know what this is? That's what the spinal cord looks like when you take it out of the actual bone. Let's see, right here, you'll be able to see the pituitary gland. You'll also be able to see the optic nerve. But look at that nice region that your brain gets to sit in. Boy, and everyone looks just a little bit different. I've seen people that it's been ridges like crazy. Some have kind of smooth little gaps, but it's everyone's just all a little different. So it depends what you'll see this year. You'll see inside of the skull as well. Medical pictures and terminology. Guys and girls. Nothing that you see in this class is pornographic, but you will see male and female body parts. You will see the anatomy. We're not going to blur it out. You'll go to the Cadaver Lab and you will see the anatomy. Why is that? Well, you're in a medical establishment. Okay? We all have some sort of anatomy for reproduction. That's what it is. Okay? You will hear terminology. It's not going to be the slang of it. It's just the terminology. Why is that? It's a medical class. You have somebody coming in to talk about infectious diseases. She'll show you diseased portions of the human body, such as gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, and a whole plethora of other things. Dr. Jackie Mesa. She's a wonderful person. Love having her. She's actually from Pennsylvania, and I just love her accent. And she's great. She works out at Littleton Hospital out on Broadway. Let's see. Be sure your power school is up to date, which I think it is. Everyone have power school in here? You know where to go to? Everyone's in the district? Perfect. Also, make sure your emails are correct, including your parents' emails, because raise your hand if you've got emails from me or your parents. Good. If you haven't, either you're not enrolled in the class yet or you're not checking your school email. No, I'm not gonna check your email. I'm not gonna send an email to you if you're surfer dude 4545. I'm not gonna send it to that. I'm gonna send it to the Cherry Creek Schools email that is for you. Okay? I don't think we have to worry about not being a Cherry Creek student. We got everyone here. Days of no class. Snow day? Don't worry. We had 5 last year. Fortunately, it's mostly the second semester. I think we had 1 first semester. If we have a delayed start because of weather, we won't have class. And then collaboration days. And what I'll do is each week I'll send you an email as well to your parents, letting you know what that week's presentations are. And I will also put in there if we have a collaboration day. No class this day, so don't come. Or you can come, just might not be see anything cool. Okay, so please, again, be sure that your school email is active and that you're checking it. Final exam, I told you, it's already on Schoology. Okay, I do have to activate it. It's not there yet. It'll be there. Be there by the end of today. Is it tough? Yes. What does that mean when I made it? Well, bless you. I made it to where question number 1 for you might be question number 15 for somebody else, might be question number 17 for somebody else. And let's say you do say, okay, problem number 1. And you tell your friend, dude, the answer to problem number 1 that talks about carboxylic acid groups is B. I've rotated the answers too. Sorry. I couldn't make it that easy for you. You're going to work with each other, which I'm telling you to do. Please do. How do we raise money? Well, I have sponsors. Copic's a big sponsor of ours. They're the medical malpractice insurance company for the state. And they fund us a nice amount of money every year, which is fantastic. It doesn't cover all costs. This class is relatively expensive to run, which is great. That's why I have sponsors. The Cherry Creek Foundation, in the name of Dr. Pete Baker. When Pete Baker passed away, he left this class a wonderful gift. He said, in lieu of flowers, all money donated to Cherry Creek High School in their medical careers class. I mean, that's a huge gift. That was something I didn't expect when his family was telling me this is what we're doing. I'm looking at it, I'm going, that is so generous. I don't know what I did right in life to deserve this for you guys, but it's fantastic. And the PTCO has donated money towards us. There is a $40 fee per student. If you're going to give me cash, sometimes it's hard for me because I like to be as transparent as possible. If you give me cash and I forgot who you were, that stinks. The best thing is get me a check. Write the check, have the check written out, print your name in the memo spot so I know who you are. Because sometimes your last name does not match who wrote the check's last name. But that's the best way to do it. That way it keeps us very transparent. We have a paper trail of what has been given and things like that. That fee pretty much goes to cover our Cadaver Lab. Okay? If this is a hardship, please don't grandstand it with your friends. Tell me. Come talk to me personally. We'll get you the information. Okay? We'll make sure no kid should ever be denied any part of education because of financial reason. And that's very dear to me. And part of that money that Pete Baker has left, I would use towards that kind of stuff. What about me? Let's see. This is my 21st year as math teacher. I'm also certified to teach all science, all history, and all math, obviously. So, which tells you I spent way too much time in college to get minors in so many things, and I got a degree in math. Medical careers is our 9th year of doing it. Bless you. Those of you from Creek, my math office is 439A in the West Building, which is up the stairs. It's Mr. Burns' office, Ms. Peterson's office, and Mr. Minnick's office. So I'm in their office. And then I'm in the Career Tech Ed building during the 7th and 8th period, which is the building to the north side of the Stutler Bowl, that little 2-story building. Some of you might take criminal justice, so I'm in the office 200 up there. That's my number. Obviously, that's part of your paperwork. So please, by all means, if you have something that comes up, you can call that and leave a voicemail. Voicemails sometimes are hard to track going, hey, Mr. Stirrup, I was just wondering if blah, 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 blah. Hang up. Who the heck just called me? Tell me your name. Tell me what class you're in. Because I have math classes, too, that most students might call me as well in my office to set anything up. Dad and husband, that's me, obviously. My daughter, May, she's now in 7th grade at Powell Middle School. And my daughter, Leah, who's now a freshman at Arapahoe High School. My wife, Susan. My wife, Susan, teaches chemistry and physics at Arapahoe Community College. And sorry, we're skiers. If you're a single planker, I get it. But we're a skiing family. I think we're up at Monarch on that particular day, which I love skiing at Monarch because it's total old school. If you saw my skis, they don't match. My poles don't match. I'm that guy. Nothing matches with me, and I love it. People are like, why don't you get skis that match? Because. Wannabe Rockstar? Yeah, that's me right there. I sang, and a couple students, we did Love It Loud and Rock and Roll All Night in front of students at Chaparral High School 4 years ago. My favorite band in the world. I was given second row center stage and meet and greet by a former student. Her father grew up with Gene Simmons. So I was able to meet the whole band. Love this band. Sorry if you don't. I chatted quite extensively with Gene Simmons, which he's a fantastic person. I absolutely just adore him. So that's all good stuff. And then last year, anyone see us do this? Runes Brothers? Oh, yeah. So you might recognize a couple of other people. So if you haven't figured it out yet, I love music. It's my favorite medium out there. I absolutely love it. It's just wonderful. Music takes me back to exact moments of time, and that's just awesome. So that's all good stuff. Go on an A. I got you. So do I. Okay? So you got to be here. Attendance, for the most part, is mandatory. Okay? If you're absent, I'm taking 10 points off. If your absence is due to a religious, you got to come let me know. I don't know all the religious designations of you. So if you have this holiday, that holiday that follows with your religion, let me know personally. Okay? Send me an email. Just give me a heads up on it. Okay? Yes, I will mark you absent, but I won't deduct the points. If you happen to come tardy, I'm going to take 5 points off for tardy. Okay? Thank you letters. Don't worry about writing these yet. This is something right around Thanksgiving I will hand out to you all. And you're going to write 6 thank you letters. I will pick 3 thank you letters that you get to write. And then you get to choose the other 3. Why do I do that? So all of my medical professionals get a thank you letter. Are there going to be favorites that you have? Yes. Are you going to have some going, oh my goodness? Yes. But you know what? You saying, oh my goodness, this person was horrible, might be inspiring the person sitting next to you or behind you in front of you. So everybody who has participated in this class is giving their time to you to give you a little bit of insight into medicine. Okay? If you are the student who is in the top 10 of your school or of your class, you might want to audit this class. Okay, that's something that you need to talk to your counselor about. I have no problem if someone wants to audit the class. You get credit for it, but I don't give you an actual letter grade. Okay, it's not a weighted grade. I get it. But if that's something that concerns you, please by all means let your counselor know and we'll take care of you. Okay, so $40 fee, we talked about it. Checks made out to Cherry Creek CTE, Borges CTE. So again, that's on your paperwork. Some of our sponsors, so Copix are one big sponsor. Dr. Tagi helps out. CarePoint is a heart group that helps out. EMS, obviously Cherry Creek Schools and Cherry Creek High School, big proponents of this class. So, you guys ready to see a video? So, this is the optional field trip. This is the one that costs $50 for you to go to. This is the one that I can't take you all on. I can only take 15 of you unless some of the other schools don't want to go. Let's see if this will load up. But this paperwork will not be coming out for quite some time. I believe it's December 3rd I have this trip planned. So this is something to keep in mind. So this is going to go over to YouTube, at least it should. This video was filmed a few years ago when I was at Chaparral. So fill in the verbiage you hear with Chaparral High School, or Cherry Creek High School, not.
Jordan?
So badly.
There's something so intense about
I'm
it.
gonna put you on the monitor. He's doing compression.
And yet, these high school students
What is going on?
can't get enough of it.
What was today?
Awesome, great experience.
On this morning, well before the sun peaked the buildings at the University of Colorado School of Medicine in Aurora,
How many of you are gonna go into healthcare?
these aspiring healthcare professionals
Anesthesiology, mixed animal veterinarian, Army nurse, pediatrician specialist.
each traveled from Parker for curiosity's sake.
So what you guys are gonna see today and experience are a lot of interactive sessions.
A unique choice opportunity, an early morning medical class that meets several mornings every week at Chaparral High School. This morning's class is a special one.
This class doesn't just provide
That's me.
the high school experience for kids.
Chris Stirrup started this course to make kids pre-med students. Today, forget field trips. They're virtual doctors. Students get the same opportunities as medical students, working with human patient simulators, checking for pulse, an experience in a class that wouldn't happen without partnerships with medical professionals, the University of Colorado, Rocky Vista University, and its Cadaver Lab, and funding from the Kopic Medical Foundation.
Makes your heart flutter almost to listen to the young students say that they'd like to go into this specific field or that specific field.
A Kopic grant also funds Noel,
Hi, I'm Natalie. I'm for the what team? OB team. I'll be delivering your baby. Nice to meet you.
Noel has simulated thousands of births,
Man, give me an epidural.
engaging a current generation of doctors and the next one too.
Pushing out a baby. Just delivered a really healthy baby.
Delivering a baby is an unbelievable situation for these kids. You know, and they're going to walk back to school and say, I delivered a baby today.
A valuable DCSD choice available to all students, no matter if you go to Chaparral, Douglas County, or Ponderosa.
Just having the opportunity to take a class like this and be exposed to something so different than what's offered at my school.
The class itself has given me a great experience without having to pay like tuition and everything to get pre-med.
This is where the scenario ends.
You don't forget delivering your first baby or saving your first life. And all of that, for these students at least, it happened here.
Watching just global learning take place. They are learning the big picture today.
I don't know why that's there, but that's not us. So that would be an experience if you would like to be a part of that. It's fantastic. It gives you a pretty good insight to what medicine is, how they treat or teach people. All right, questions yet? I'm going to hit you guys with some emotions here in a few minutes. Okay, and next video is going to show you is kind of tough. My thing doesn't want to work right now. So, one thing I want to talk about while I'm trying to get this back on, it's of course frozen. So this is going to be a discussion. This is tough. So we here in the United States, have a wonderful opportunity for wonderful choices, because there's choices. You can choose to be an organ donor. You can choose to not be an organ donor. You can choose to donate your body to science. There's countries out there that unfortunately some choices aren't made available. This is a nice depiction of choice, but I just want you to know, as far as a global perspective, there are things that take place with medicine in some other countries that you will hear about through this class that are going to upset you. They're going to frustrate you. But you guys are the leaders of tomorrow. You guys are the ones that might change some perspective. See, I do this class because I'm selfish. I'll tell you why I'm selfish. You're choosing to be here at 6 o'clock in the morning. You're choosing to take a class that might pique your interest in medicine. I'm getting older. I need some good doctors, nurses, PAs. So it's all about me. So that's why I'm doing the class, just so you guys can take care of me. But this is a video. It's pretty tough to watch because of the events that took place with it.
CMA, we are aware that there are, well, incredible stories playing out every day in your hometown. So we're always on the lookout for the great things your local ABC stations are doing. And this next story touched everyone on our staff so much that we wanted to share it with you directly from our Dallas station, WFAA, and its reporter, Gary Reeves.
Sunrise over the Phoenix suburbs. Todd and Tara Storch are here to continue the mission they began in March, the day their daughter Taylor, just 13, died in a Colorado ski accident. The day they decided to donate her organs.
I don't know, excited is not the correct or right word.
The Storches say they came here because they had to. Their daughter may be deceased, but her heart lives on in the Valley of the Sun. It's the thing that's been on Tara's mind since day one.
Hearing Taylor's heartbeat. That's really what I've wanted since the very beginning, is to find who has her heart and have a connection with that person.
That person is Patricia Winters. Married to Joe, she's a nurse. At age 40, just 1 year younger than Tara. And they're both now raising 2 children. Her heart started failing 5 years ago, after the birth of her second son.
I felt like I wasn't going to last very long. I was sleeping pretty much 18 hours a day and could hardly really do anything other than lay in bed. It was pretty pathetic.
She was too weak to take care of her boys. Taylor's heart lets her be mom again.
The boys are finally, I think, kind of really trusting of me again and enjoying their mom.
Tara's challenge is learning to be mom to just 2.
Just trying to find a new normal without having the missing piece of a 5-piece puzzle.
Transplant alliances are cautious about telling recipients who their donors are. But using the internet, friends figured it out in just hours. And that still troubles Patricia.
Well, knowing that she was 13, I mean, that within itself was hard, but seeing Taylor's picture and then in a few days looking at the YouTubes and all that stuff, it was just, it just gave me that sinking feeling even more. Everyone's looking now, baby, I can see your halo. You know you're not saying great.
Online, she followed the Storches story on taylorsgift.org. That's the website of the foundation Todd started to encourage organ donations. There she saw a link to our story.
I can't wait until I'm able to hug the person that has her heart.
That encouraged Patricia to reach out. By email, the 2 moms built a special bond.
Tara and Patricia had been texting and emailing. They had their first conversation a day or 2 ago on the phone.
Both couples faced the meeting excited yet nervous.
I think it'll be good. I really do.
It will be. It'll be tough, but it'll be good.
The Storches finally pull up at Patricia's door. The moms hug, heart to heart, for almost a minute. Then Todd joins them for a minute more.
You know, I know we should probably talk, but I need to hear her.
Patricia retrieves her nurse's stethoscope.
This goes around your ears like that. I cleaned it, okay? Tell me if you can hear it. It's so strong.
Oh, yeah.
She is very strong. I want him to.
It is the sound of life itself. It is Taylor's gift.
I am so sorry. And I thank you at the same time.
I'm so glad you're good.
What it must be like for those families.
Strong heart.
Our thanks to Gary Reeves and our ABC station in Dallas for bringing us that story. And we know there are stories like this all across the country and in one's hometown, but this one we just really felt.
Get you a little bit? Gets me. So I collected the questions. Usually I will collect these right around 6:35 to 6:40 so we can ask of the doctors. But the larger connection to this class. If you are a Facebook person, I have a group on Facebook which has a lot of our doctors on there. So it could be a connection for you to ask them questions. I don't know what this is. My battery is low at 7%. Uh-oh. Okay. Good thing class is almost over. So that might be one thing. That's kind of what the Facebook page looks like. So in closing, I'm just trying, I saw some questions. I haven't come across them yet. This class is a great opportunity for you. Okay? I brought it here for a reason because, one, you guys are wonderful, wonderful people. And two, I'm jealous. I'm selfish. I'm just not jealous. Actually, I am jealous of some of you guys because you're taking this cool class, and I didn't have it when I was in high school. All right, see if I have some of these questions. During Cadaver Labs, do we have the right to hold the heart, or do we have to fight to hold the heart, or do we get a chance? No, everyone gets to hold the heart. Don't worry. There's no fighting. Is there any way I can intern in a psychiatrist's office? Psychiatrist's office sometimes is tougher to get into because of the information they talk about. I do have somebody coming in, so we can ask them when they come, see if we can figure it out that way. What were the struggles in your journey of my career? I chose teaching. There's no struggles. I love this job. So I was a engineering student at Arizona State, made it through my junior year, and they put us in teams, and I was working full-time, and my job was a Friday, Saturday night job, which was great for college, but it was Friday, Saturday night, and a lot of times on my engineering team, the team would like to meet on Friday and Saturday nights. Well, I was a bartender for a college bar, and I made my money to pay for my schooling, so I like, guys, can we do this Sunday? So I actually left it, and left being an engineer to pursue becoming a doctor. And I think that my things. So that was a struggle at a point, but I've looked back at what I do. I love it. I wouldn't trade it. So what inspired me to do my job? You did that. How many years have you been a doctor? 0. I'm not a doctor at all. I have my highest degree is a master's degree. So I do not have a medical degree. I just happen to come across people. How do you get shadow doctors and nurses? So shadowing sometimes is pretty tough, especially if you're not of age 18. Okay, if you are 18, I can get you in a lot of times, but we do have a handful of doctors. I will not, if you have an interest in shadowing a certain person, email me if it's that particular person or that type of doctor, let me know, and I can see if we could fill you on that. A couple of you here from other schools and our school that are doing our internship. Let's see. Did you start yours yet?
No, I think it's gonna start this week.
You got all your paperwork done from Skyridge?
Yeah, I'm just waiting to figure out who I'm now.
Okay, John Penn. He's your main contact. So, anyone else doing any internship for Cherry Creek schools? So, if you have an interest in that, let me know individually. Let's see. Last couple questions. Are we supposed to pick a lab date we can attend that we can attend all? You only pick one of them. So, I will have paperwork for tomorrow for the very first one. So if you want to go on that first one, double check it. Our dates are in that packet. Do we get to know how the cadaver people died? The anatomical board does not tell us how they died, but we can make some judgments on what they think. You might see a large cancer mass. In fact, that very first show, there was a picture of me. I'm holding two different lungs. The left lung in this picture is actually larger than the right lung, which is not supposed to happen. Your left lung is 2/3 the size of your right. It has 2 lobes versus 3 to accommodate how your heart vessels over there. But it was cancer in this lung that was the size of a softball. So that person probably expired because of that. What interests you in this? Oh, you guys. How much does a medical profession make? Depending, the low end, $15 an hour, to high end, $400,000 or $500,000 a year. And are we going to need scrubs? No. But if you have scrubs, you can always wear them to the class or the lab. But that's all I have. Tomorrow we have Dr. Morton. And then we have some more. So see you all tomorrow. If you know someone interested in the class, bring them along. We have applications. Have a great day, everybody.